for abortion.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Chunky chomp.
Right.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
What's happening? Welcome to the lab. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz. Good to see you. Good to be here. Hit that like button on the way in, if you would. Greatly appreciated. We're going to be talking about Sarah Wondra tonight. Sarah Wondra. It's hard to put a cap on, evil, I guess you could say. But, if they did what they're accused of, and I believe that they have done the unthinkable, the unforgivable, the unspeakable to Michael Vaughan. 5 years old, out of Fruitland, Idaho, went missing July 27th, 2001. And it's pretty unbelievable that, as you know, it just seems like time has just flown by. And for some reason, I feel like these folks think that they maybe have got away with something, got over on something. I hear people all the time, well, wouldn't they be arrested by now? Wouldn't they this? Wouldn't they that? No, not necessarily. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. But I do believe that they are going to be arrested. If you tuned in yesterday, Brandy made an announcement. I'm not going to replay it because, I think that the volume is low and I can't get it higher. But shout out to Purple Phoenix for sending me that. I do appreciate that. I get it. It was a little low, but sorry, I apologize. So for the next, this is night number 2 and then we'll go through Monday. We'll finish it off with Stacy, because he's the one that's spoken the most. Adrian is kind of I don't like to use the word enigma, but I don't know what else. I don't know what other term to use for the guy, but I think he's probably the smartest of the bunch. I think I said that about Brandon yesterday, but there's no, after watching that, there's no friggin' way that guy is smart at all. And what I think criminally, like the criminal mind, I think that Adrian is probably the most, I don't know, the most keen, maybe clever. I mean, he's somehow really been able to kind of lay low, not do a lot of talking. And so I fully expect him as well to be held accountable for these things that have transpired. And, we'll learn more as we go along. 2 different things. Of course. That would be Give me a second. Turn this off. I'm sorry. All right. Unbelievable. Well, when I say that, I didn't say they're smart. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying, and don't say that I'm saying that they're smart. I said smartest. You know, I mean, you can have a bunch of dumb, I don't know, you could have a bunch of dumb circus animals. There's going to be the smartest one of the bunch. That doesn't mean that they're smart. And I'm not saying that they're smart. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the smartest. It's not a compliment. It's not something that somebody should be proud of. Anybody that gets caught up in these situations are terrible. Now, what I'm gonna play you something here just in a second, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Sarah, and we're gonna play. I don't remember the exact show that this happened on, but one night we were covering the case, and I got a phone call. And it was from her ex-husband out of Texas. And we're going to play that phone call as well, because he kind of gives some insight into who Sarah is. Okay. And, you know, somebody who was married to her, he wasn't married to her for very long, but 6 months or whatever he said that they were married is long enough to learn about somebody, to know about somebody, to know that somebody is not who they portray to be. Let me see here. Josh, a lot of people don't know the details of this case. Can you take 5 minutes to tell us who the 4 suspects are and how they became suspects? I have no idea how they found them out. Well, yeah, I mean, I can give you a little breakdown, but that's kind of what we're doing, you know, piece by piece here. But Michael Joseph Vaughan out of Fruitland, Idaho, went missing July 27th, 2001. He made his way outside of the gate, and he disappeared. And for quite some time, there were no leads. There were nothing. And they were just kind of operating on, you know, that they didn't know, you know, if he was abducted or what happened. But there was a group of people down the street, 4 suspects to be exact. They're suspects now, and I believe on the brink of becoming indicted. They were in trouble for other things, and Stacy Wondra, who is the, I believe, current husband. What did I say? 20 what? I thought I said 2021. I'm sorry. What did I say? I don't remember. Okay. All right. Gotcha. So it was July 27th, 2021. What did I say? I don't even remember. Well, yes. So anyway, it was 2021, and this year will be 4 years since he went missing. Did I say 2001? That's a long time ago. No, 2021. I'm sorry about that. I talk fast. Forgive me. All right. Anyway. All right. Gotcha. 2021. Let me just play this, get out of my own way for a second. And I just want you to listen. I just want you to listen to this. And it, I think that it has some relevance here. But let me finish really quick with that Stacy was in jail on unrelated charges. Sarah was in jail on unrelated charges. Stacy said that he had some information in the Michael Vaughan case. And guess what? He was singing like a canary on a branch on a sunny day. Then he lied about it. Blah, blah. You know, I mean, it's just, that's how they became, that's how the police became acquainted with these folks in that Sarah and Stacy started to turn on each other because they have no loyalty towards each other and could care less about each other. All right, here we go.
Some people ask me why I believe in Jesus. Do you know what I deserve based off my own life and my own knowledge of that life? I deserve to go to hell.
I got to be honest with you. I hate live shows, but let me restart it. I got you. I saw the first one. It's going to be 10 more, 20 more. Hold on. Let's just let them go by. Let them go by. Echoing. We good? Echoing. Get it out of the way. I hate live shows, but we got to do what we got to do. You ready? All right. No more echoing. I promise. Holy crap.
Some people ask me why I believe in Jesus. Do you know what I deserve based off my own life and my own knowledge of that life? I deserve to go to hell. I deserve to rot there. But I'm not going to, because my Savior has proven to me unquestionably through my life and through His Word that I am saved by His Son, because I don't deserve that at all. I am not a good person, but I don't have to be. There was an earthquake today here in Idaho. I'm not scared of it. God's bigger than all the earthquakes. In fact, my God is so big, I don't know how you guys don't see Him everywhere. I see Him everywhere. I wish you knew. It's coming close to the end now. The birth pangs have started. I hope that you choose to come to Christ soon in the true knowledge of Him. For the devil is wicked. He's really good at disguising himself as an angel of light, even more than you'd ever think.
So this is previous to Michael going missing, just by a little bit over a year, not 2001, but 2021. And I mean, you can just hear the ominous presence in her voice. And I know a lot of people tell me, and I've heard this before, that, she's mentally ill, or she's this and she's that. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything about that. But what I do know is that there are a lot of people that are mentally ill and that do not pull guns on people, do not assault people, do not conspire to kidnap children. And that the mental illness aspect of this does not absolve her of her wrongdoings. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. I don't buy that. I don't care about it. They're obviously she's obviously covering up what she's done, and that to me shows enough intelligence and enough clarity of mind to keep her fully responsible for everything that she's doing. I don't care about crazy. I don't care what what is said and uh, what excuse because she was being evaluated. She was actually charged with not reporting the death of Michael Vaughan, and the prosecution asked the judge to take it away. They did, and you know, just because she was in jail on other charges, so they as they worked the case, they had no reason to hold her for that, and maybe eventually bring more serious charges, which I believe is what we're on the precipice of right now. And but I mean, if you just listen to what she says, those words to me are just, I mean, they're haunting. I've always felt for some reason, and I can't tell you exactly why. I don't have an exact reason, but I've always thought that Sarah was the mastermind behind the situation. I've always thought that Sarah, or excuse me, that Stacy and Brandon uh, are evil people. I don't think that there's much argument there. However, there's something about Stacy, or sorry, they both have girl names. There's something about Sarah that sits so uncomfortably with me. I mean, I I've went through her TikTok, and it's just it's crazy. Um, sort of like that Lori Vallow lady. Exactly. Oh, that's right there. I feel a lot of that. I feel a lot of that. She has these bad tendencies, these bad thoughts, these things that she does, and the way that she tries to justify them is by just flat out uh, embracing herself in the Word of God, preaching the Word of God, all while committing crimes, pulling guns on people, orchestrating kidnappings, and God knows, what else she's done along the way. And like I said, as I think it was probably a year and a half ago, I don't know how long ago it was, but I'm going to play it here in a minute. As I had open phone lines, and sometimes really crazy things happen during open phone lines. I remember one time Dolly was having a show, and a lady called in to Dolly's show and said that Stacy was rented a room from her, obviously with no money. She didn't know that he was a suspect in this case. She found out about it through YouTube. She called in, and it was pretty horrific thing to hear, to be honest with you. But one night, as I was doing a show, and we've covered this case extensively, I get a phone call from a fella, and he claimed to be Sarah's ex-husband. And as we were taking the phone call, me and a couple other people were scrambling to try and verify that this guy was who he said he was, and it sure turns out that he was exactly who he said he was. And I've even had some conversations with him after. And he really gives a lot of insight. And I'm going to play this. I don't know how many people caught it at the time. And I know there's a lot of people that are new to this case. And I think it's just something that is very, I think it's very, very important to listen to. So give me 1 second here. Can I ask you about Sarah a little bit?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you coming up here, and so does everybody that's watching here.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you a little bit about. So you don't know Stacy, but how long were you married to Sarah?
Briefly, it was like 6 months.
Okay, 6 months. And where are you from? Idaho as well?
No, sir. I was married to her when I lived in Texas.
Okay, because there was talk of her going to Texas.
Right.
Yeah. So okay. So ultimately, 6 months. How long were you guys together before that?
On and off, we knew each other for about 2 years.
Okay, and then you got married, and obviously no kids. I'm
No,
assuming
sir.
you
God,
didn't
no.
you didn't get your nuts crushed by a bull.
No. No, I
So-
actually have a son and a daughter, so my nuts are just fine.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So
Thank you, sir.
I mean, please forget. I mean, I don't remember saying that. It must have been AI or something. If you don't mind, what ultimately led to the divorce?
Well, she had a meltdown about me not being able to give her any children because I wasn't trying to. And basically, she had me incarcerated under false accusations. And so I basically told her, I want you gone. I want a divorce. And inevitably, that's what happened.
And is that something you guys fought about a lot?
Well, our marriage was only 6 months, but no, sir, it wasn't a lot of fighting.
Yeah. So what she wanted you to give her a kid. Same
Yes, sir.
thing that you heard. And what is it? She just wanted to be a mother. I mean, was that it?
She had a daughter when she was 17 years old. The story she told me, I cannot confirm this to be true. I can only say what she told me. She said Ed and Kay Ramsey made her give her child up for divorce because they were not going to take care of her and her daughter.
Oh, you mean for adoption?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can't confirm, but what she told you is that at one time she did have a child.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But and you can't confirm that. And so let's just make that clear. But so she claims that she had a child and that she was forced to give up the child by her parents, and that she was forced to give up the daughter for adoption. Her parents made her do that?
Yes, sir. Her adoptive parents.
Okay. And do you know how old she was when that allegedly happened?
17.
Okay. Was she very religious?
No, absolutely not.
So
This is
that
all
was kind of
new.
new. Okay, I got you. That's all
Yes,
new.
sir. Very new.
Okay. You think she's capable of what she's been accused of?
It's funny you asked me that because the detective did ask me what I thought about it. And I said, when it comes to kidnapping, yes, she is capable of it. I don't know if she's capable of murder. I can't say that she is.
She ever talk about kidnapping?
Yes.
With you,
That's one
she
of the
did?
things that led to me saying, "C'est la vie."
So she wanted to kidnap a kid.
No. She just talked about kidnapping in general, never anything about children.
Wow. And what would she say?
Oh, well, she would talk about mainly just, how it would be interesting to have someone to go into some stranger's house and basically take control of them, be able to tie them up. And I told her, I said, you need to seek professional help. That's not normal.
Wow. I mean, that is, yeah, you're right. That's not normal. And you just must have, I mean, were you just shocked by that?
I was scared by that.
And was this towards the end of your marriage?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that she would cover up an accident? Like say something went wrong when they were kidnapping Michael, and say it wasn't intentional homicide or whatever, say it wasn't that. Could you see her covering that up?
Yes, sir.
She ever abusive towards you?
Yes, sir.
So, because I've heard reports that she would hit Stacy with like pots and pans and things like that.
I've been beaten by that woman before.
Wow.
And I mean, I don't want to seem agitated or anything, but I'd rather not talk about it. It's just not something I want to relive.
I don't blame you. Not a problem at all. You don't want to answer a question. You don't want to talk about something. That's totally fair. I appreciate you coming up and even talking. So Sarah was talking about kidnapping with you, had talked about kidnapping, and you were just totally thrown off by the whole thing.
Yes,
and you wanted it, and you initiated the divorce.
Yes, sir, I did.
Was it not that it matters, but was it an annulment or a divorce?
It was a divorce.
And how did she take the news when you wanted to divorce?
A meltdown, of course. As a matter of fact, I was incarcerated at the time that I told her about it, and the deputies had to escort her out of the building because she was causing a disturbance.
In the jail?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so she has a temper.
Absolutely.
But she never talked about God with you or anything like that?
No, sir. I'm not really what you would call religious. I do believe in God, but I'm just not a Bible thumper.
Right. And so was it news to you when you found out that she was now?
Yes, it actually was. It was a huge shock.
But were you surprised at all when you heard that she was a suspect in this case?
I really was. I wasn't expecting anything like that to spill on my doorstep because, I had the time the detective had contacted me, I had just found out that I was going to be a father with my firstborn, my son.
Oh, okay. All right. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
Okay. So you had just found out that you were going to be a father. Was she ever around any of your children?
No, sir. It's been over 12 years since I've known her.
So even 12 years ago, she had mentioned kidnapping. Was it more than once?
Yes, sir. It was on numerous occasions. That's why I said, I need to get away from this woman.
Good Lord. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Did she ever try to get you to do anything like that with her?
No, sir.
Yeah. Not that you would have went along with it anyway, but a lot of people's theory is that she was the ringleader of what was going on, and that people kind of were just going along with what she did.
I can see that. I honestly can, because she always had to be in control of the situation when it comes to anything.
Yeah. But she never specifically mentioned kidnapping a child.
No, it was never a child. It was just like I said, she's a control freak. So, I guess she would let it slip, or maybe that's just something she gets off on, but she would always, she would always bring up kidnapping a person and having control over them. She has to be in control.
And that's what you dealt with as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And a temper when things didn't go her way.
Yes, sir.
Was she a hard worker? I mean, was she a neat freak? What was she? What was she like in the house?
No
Was
job.
she respectful of
and
people?
sat on her butt. No, sir. She had no respect for anyone.
So she was rude to people in your presence.
Yes, sir.
Did she ever meet your parents?
She met my mother. My father is passed. So I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that. What did your mother think of her?
She did not like her one bit. She said that I made a mistake. And I agree with my mother. I did make a mistake.
Yeah. Who hasn't made a mistake before? I mean, I'm glad that you got away from that situation, because it just sounds horrible. But so she didn't like, did she like your mother?
She pretended to, but then after she was not around my mother, she would disrespect her, which also upset me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So she would just say bad things about your mom, and she was just disrespectful, which is funny because I don't know if you saw, but I had a conversation with Stacy.
Yes, sir. I saw it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And, he's not, and then I had a conversation with him off the air. He's not exactly a loving, tender touch. Okay.
Right.
And it almost seems like they're kind of peas in a pod that way, but it still sounds like Sarah ran the show.
Yes, sir.
Now, and if you don't want to answer these questions, don't. Was there ever any infidelity on her part?
The only one that I'm aware of is once I was incarcerated. So we were still legally married. There was a guy at the gas station up the road from where we.
I believe what they put him in jail for was domestic violence. And I don't know. I don't know if he goes on to say the charges were dropped or I can't remember, but I know that it was a domestic violence charge.
We lived that told me that they were in having intercourse with each other while I was incarcerated.
And you believed that to be true?
I can't say that it is or isn't. It's just mighty funny how, Stacy says he was messed around on. I was told that I was messed around on. So I'm just putting two and two together.
Right. This must be a trip for you, man.
It is.
Yeah. It's really weird. You never, you get a phone call one day from detectives and you're like, holy crap. Did you only talk to the detectives the one time?
Yes, sir. They only called me once.
Yeah. It sounds like he told them kind of, I mean, honestly, the kidnapping thing is just crazy for her to even bring that up. And that's what you said 12 years ago.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that she has, I mean, I'm sort of aware that she has a mental illness. Did you ever recognize if she did or not?
I did. Like I said, the meltdowns were not normal. I mean, people get upset all the time. You have your ups and downs, but I mean, when it's an extreme, that's a time to sit down and talk with someone and see about getting some professional help.
Yeah. Yeah. Did she ever mention to you that she had been diagnosed with anything?
She said bipolar. That's all I remember.
And did she take medicine or anything for that?
No, sir.
No medicine. Okay. So she claims to be bipolar, and I don't know what her medical record is or not, and she very well could be. Probably. I mean, it sounds like there's some issues, and kind of the bipolar kind of does progress sort of the older you get, and if it's left untreated. So maybe these delusions of grandeur that she's having and the kidnapping stuff. I mean, that is extremely pertinent information.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, I'm just doing anything I can help. I just don't want to interfere in any way. And like I was trying to tell everyone in the comment section, I don't know Stacy, so I don't know how I can be of much help to the case. My only concern is Tyler and Brandy getting their son back. That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
And so you have that. There you have it. Hold on a second. No, this was not live at all. This was some time ago. I want to read this to you as well. So I mean, if you were here at the very beginning, and I'll play this here again in a second, the video that I did at the beginning. So this is let's see. KTVB learned new information on the woman who was originally charged in connection with the disappearance of Michael Vaughan. Sarah Wondra was sentenced to prison on October 6th and will serve between 3 and 7 years in prison on 2 state charges that are unrelated to Vaughan's case. So this is what she is in prison for currently. Court records show Wondra pleaded guilty to aggravated assault and destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence. There is no bounds that she won't go to cover her tracks. She pleaded guilty. Court records. So she assault, destruction, alteration, concealment of evidence. These crimes occurred in April of 2022. So this is after Michael goes missing. Not quite a year. Wondra also faced a federal gun charge, but that was dropped on Thursday because she was prosecuted for the state charges. Great. Awesome.
Without sweating it.
Let me see. She remains in the Payette County Jail waiting transfer to the Idaho Department of Corrections, as mentioned. Authorities said these charges are not related to the Vaughan case. Wondra was originally charged with failing to report a death in November of 2022 in connection to Vaughan's disappearance, but that charge was dropped this spring, and it was dropped after prosecutors asked that it be dropped because she was facing these other charges, so they dropped those charges. She was originally arrested in November 2022 after Fruitland police said investigators determined she may have known about Vaughan's death and failed to report it. Investigators searched the Fruitland home she shared with her husband, Stacy, after receiving a tip that Vaughan's remains may be there. That home is in a nearby neighborhood from where Michael was last seen, but the search did turn up nothing. Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff told KTVB he believes Vaughan's remains were buried there and were later removed. Vaughan, who went missing in July of 2021, has yet to be found. Wondra's husband, Stacy, was just sentenced to a federal prison on Wednesday, November 1st, after pleading guilty to federal charge of an unlawful possession of a firearm. And I think what he did was he tried to sell I think he tried to sell a gun to a pawn shop, something along those lines. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's just absolutely crazy. Wondra's husband Stacy was just sentenced to he will serve another 4 months on top of the 17 months he's already spent in custody. He will serve out that time in the Otta County jail under the U.S. Marshal Service custody. I mean, these are scary people. These are bad people. I mean, you got federal gun charges. You got destruction of evidence. I don't know what other charges. There's a lot. I mean, they do. I mean, they got no problem breaking the law, and they do it regularly, and without any sort of regret. But these charges are also unrelated to the Vaughan case. Regarding Michael's disappearance, Fruitland PD announced in July of this year they submitted a case to Fayette County prosecutor along with a probable cause affidavit. And a phone call on Friday, Fruitland PD Police Department Chief J.D. Huff told investigative reporter Morgan Romero that the case submitted to the prosecutor's office does involve the Wondras, as well as 2 other individuals police named in December 2022, who they believe have firsthand knowledge about the abduction of Michael, Brandon Shurtleff, and Adrian Lucian. And if you look here, once again, so Brandon doesn't feel left out, and I don't want to leave the guy out. This is Brandon Shurtleff walking the neighborhood the afternoon that Michael Vaughan goes missing by his own admission. He'll tell you that it's not him now if you were to ask him, but that's not what he told others. And that's so, I mean, he was kind of their, he was kind of their runner, I guess you could say. He was out there scouting for potential victims. I mean, that's what this is right here. This is a man who is hunting, looking for a child. They were at the splash pad earlier. They have no business at the splash pad, but they went to the splash pad. And also, you have this guy just right around the corner, just creeping around the corner like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. I mean, it's frightening. In a phone call on Friday, Fruitland Police Chief told, did we get that? We got that. Okay. Calls and emails to the prosecutor's office were not returned. Huff said Friday their investigation of Michael's disappearance is ongoing, and they still are actively working leads, which they still are actively wanting information. And if you listen to the news the other day, it sounds as though somebody has reached out to the Fruitland Police Department when the release of the body cam footage of Stacy directing investigators to where Michael was in the backyard where he was buried, and later dug up and re-hidden somewhere else. So they still don't know where he is. However, yesterday, like I said, that Brandy announced that charges are on the way and that she has physically, with her own eyes, seen the drafts of the warrants. When those will be served, I don't know. But I can tell you that Brandy has been one of the most fierce mothers when it comes to a missing child case that I've ever seen. And, all my respect. And it's just, it's just hard to even fathom, you try and put yourself in somebody's shoes and you just jump out of them as fast as you can because it's just not somewhere that you want to be, Give me a second here. So, and now we have some more people in here. I want to play this again for you because Um, for some reason, I find this terrifying. Let me take this down one more time. We'll play it here.
Some people ask me why I believe in Jesus.
Great. No sound. I wonder why.
Do you know what I deserve?
Oh, there it is. That's why. Got it. Don't yell at me, please.
Some people ask me why I believe in Jesus. Do you know what I deserve based off my own life and my own knowledge of that life? I deserve to go to hell. I deserve to rot there. But I'm not going to, because my Savior has proven to me unquestionably through my life and through His Word that I am saved by His Son, because I don't deserve that at all. I am not a good person, but I don't have to be. There was an earthquake today here in Idaho. I'm not scared of it. God's bigger than all the earthquakes. In fact, my God is so big, I don't know how you guys don't see Him everywhere. I see Him everywhere. I wish you knew. It's coming close to the end now. The birth pangs have started. I hope that you choose to come to Christ soon in the true knowledge of Him. For the devil is wicked. He's really good at disguising himself as an angel of light, even more than you'd ever think.
Brandy says she's a very, very scary person. I fully agree. Like I said, with Brandon and Stacy, I believe that they are. I believe that they're evil. I believe they have no moral compass. I believe that they're criminals, and they have no problem doing terrible things. And then to me, and this is just my personal opinion, just from the things that I've heard, read, talked to people about, that Sarah is terrifying. Um, and I don't even know. Hey, what's up, Dr. Gary? I see you there. That is frightening. I did. When I was putting this together, and when I was going back through stuff because of this case and uh, I don't know, developments that are happening right now. Just listening to that, and those two clips right there are pre Michael going missing. And it sounds as though like she was battling demons, legit demons. Once again, I don't know. I don't know where I don't know where Stacy and Brandon sort of kind of went along with what she was saying. And I do believe that it was her idea. And if you listen to her ex-husband, if you find him credible, and I do, I'm sure their marriage wasn't perfect, and I'm sure that they had all kinds of issues. Um, I struggle with the fact of knowing that I know when my kids were little, and they'd be out in the front yard and they'd wander off too far around the corner and you look outside and your heart would stop and you go, oh my God. And then you run out and you scream for them and you wait to hear their voice, and if they don't respond to you quick enough, then panic starts to set in. I've had that happen. But they've always said, I'm here. Um, and I don't know what I would do. I don't know. Like I said, I've had that happen before when my kids were younger, and it was just a terrifying, terrifying situation. And I just, hi, sweet tea. How are you doing today? I don't, yeah, I don't know if I'm not sure that Dr. Gary's allowed to talk about this case, since he is part of the cold case foundation at this point. I don't know. I'm just assuming. This country has a lot of evil people. I have a 5-year-old daughter. She's with me 24/7. Yeah. I remember there was a time when my son went to he was probably 12, 13 at the time. And, he wasn't answering his phone. He said he was going to go to the park and with his friends. And I remember him not answering his phone. It went on for, I don't know, 2 hours. I mean, just ridiculous amount of time, felt like. So I showed up at the park and luckily, he was there. And I remember just turning the corner going, God, just let there be a group of kids playing there and let my son be one of those kids. And he was there. And, he was just playing basketball with his friends and he had tossed his phone off to the side and it was no big deal. Like, he wasn't doing anything bad. And he was with his friends, but I was just absolutely terrified. I mean, I can't imagine the panic, that phone call that Brandy received. And then Tyler, Tyler received and still does receive criticism. So does Brandy, though. I mean, from a bunch of shitheads who know nothing about anything, that are wrong about everything and would never admit that they're wrong. They have to feel morally superior for whatever reason. And I can tell you this, that I kept a very close eye on my children, my nephews. And sometimes they just get out from underneath you sometimes. And it happens. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. If it hasn't happened to you, if you're that great of a watcher, okay, great. But then there are people like this that stroll your neighborhood. How do you control that? How do you control some freak, some weirdo, some creep who's in cahoots with at least 3 other creeps looking to take advantage of a situation just for a second? How do you control Brandon Shirtliff walking your neighborhood, hunting kids? If anybody has an explanation, I would love to hear it. They were looking for anybody. This is what they do. This is what they do. and it's a crime of opportunity. That's right. Suspect, main suspect. Oh, yes, you hear all those things. Kids being, yeah, help me find, exactly, help me find my pet. Do you want to come? It's just disgusting. Yeah, and so, locking your kids down, and I mean, when I was a kid, honestly, we didn't really deal. I mean, it happened. It didn't happen where I was much, but it wasn't something that was in the forefront of our thoughts. And I just I don't know. I don't know why people do the things that they do. I'll never understand it ever. Um, and thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. I don't know why people do these things, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. I believe that too. I don't believe that it was like he was some intended, like that he was stalked and intended, but I could be wrong about that too. All I know is that there are 4 people, and thank God 2 of them are off the street. And I love that Stacy gets out of jail. He's out of jail for like, I don't know, a week or 2. And he's so stupid that he can't stay out of jail, which thank God he's that stupid. Josh, is it possible that Brandon is the only suspect and the others are just covering up because it happened under Sarah's roof? I mean, no, I don't think so. I think that Brandon was just kind of they just sent him out. He was the guy, that Stacy can't even dig a hole, according to him. It's not like he's going to get out on foot and chase somebody down. I think, I think a little kid could outrun him. The most heinous crimes are beyond reason or comprehension, acts so devoid of humanity that no logic or justification can ever explain them. And I'm with you on that. There's, when we talk about motive, what's the reason? And, I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. You'd have to ask them. They're the ones that are going to tell you or not tell you. Everybody talks about like the Idaho 4. What's the motive? I don't know. Sometimes people are just messed up. Maybe they're just people that are sick. There's people that are just disgusting, effed up people in the head, I don't know how else to tell you that not everything has to have a reason. People just do things, it's weird to me, but, and I know that people always want to, why did they do this or why did they do that? What was the reason for this? I mean, who knows? Who has any earthly idea? I mean, unless you're that kind of person, you're not going to understand it. I'm not going to understand it. Why do people kill, go on mass murder sprees, or why are there serial killers, or why are there people that abuse children, the elderly, dogs? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I wish I could. Sometimes people are just that messed up. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. If it was for nefarious reasons, it won't be the first time. Yeah, they wanted to. Sometimes people just do terrible things. But who knows? There may be a motive, and hopefully all that comes out during hopefully a trial or plea deals or arrests or whatever. I hope that Brandy gets all the answers that she wants and needs and deserves. Lisa, thank you so much for being a member for 21 months. I truly do appreciate you so much for that. Adrian lives here in Toledo, Ohio, where I live. If I ever see him, I'll call 911 and tell him he's wanted in Idaho. Why not? He's They're sick. They don't need a reason. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, I don't know how many of you, and I wish we could do a show of hands, but we can't. But wait a minute. Look at that dog. Earl's mom. At first, I thought that was Justin, but look at that dog. Look at him sit. Look how he's doing, just hanging. Is that Pearl? It's beautiful. It's very cute. Randy Vaughan, I'm so sorry every time. I'm so sorry every time I cry. My heart breaks for you and Tyler and your children. I pray you will be healed from your illness with all my heart. Yeah, I agree with that. And Brandy Neal, I admire your strength. You, while your own health isn't very good, I pray to you and your family. I cannot. I'm telling you, on my best days when I have to deal with something in my world that's serious, it's not serious like what's going on with Brandy and her family. I want to make that abundantly clear. But when I have on my best days, it's a struggle to put up with this stuff. I mean, I can imagine being as sick as Brandy is and having to deal with a situation as drastic and traumatic and urgent as what she's had to deal with going on close to 4 years, 3.5 years. I don't know. I just, and if there are people out there that say that they could do that, I'll have to take your word for it because I've never seen anything quite like it. I swear to God. I've paid attention to a lot of cases. I've covered a lot of cases. I've seen a lot of parents. I've talked to a lot of parents, and a lot of them are very, very fierce. But they haven't had to deal with what Brandy herself is dealing with when it comes to having an abducted child and trying to stay healthy enough to keep this fight going. I've never seen anything like it. Never. I had no idea the first time that I ever talked to Brandy that 3.5 years later we'd be down this road. And Brandy and I have talked many, many times. We've exchanged texts. We've talked on the phone. She's cried her eyes out, and I've sat there just listening because I don't always know what to say. Most of the time, I don't know what to say. I just listening. I can listen. That's one thing that I can do. And it's for some. I've always felt. I don't know why, but I've always felt that women, especially mothers, most mothers, I wouldn't say all, but most, they know no bounds when it comes to their children. That they'll do anything. Um, imagine having to go back to work. Imagine having to just get up every day and you still have a family to take care of. You still have bills to pay. You still have other things that you have to do. And for some reason, there's just this glaring issue staring you in the face that your child is missing. Not only that, then you have an illness that, could be terminal. I'm not saying that it is, and I pray to God that it's not, and that I know that, if she isn't treated, then that's exactly what would happen. It would become that. I've never seen it. I've never seen the likes of it. I don't know if you will anymore. It's something, I don't know, man. It's just, like I said, on my best days, it's difficult to deal with difficult situations. And yeah, amen. She's on the transplant list. God bless it. I love to hear that, Brandy. You're going to be all right. You're on the list. Oh, I remember. I remember. Mm. You know, Brandy is so thankful for all of you, and as I am as well, that you show up and support you support the Vaughan family the way that you do. You know, and I pray that God softens the hearts of the people that still attack this family with zero evidence. I mean, the cops are on to the suspects and maybe many more. Has nothing to do with the parents. And tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about Adrian, who is the enigma. And I think that Adrian has connections. What kind of connections? I'll have to tell you tomorrow. You guys have a good evening. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. God bless. God bless you all, and thank you a little bit for gifting a membership. Gwen, thank you. I appreciate that as well. The meal train, please, if you feel inclined. Angel Wings, 5 months. Thank you so much. A little bit. Lisa, of course, as always. And thank you so much. Pat K gifting a membership. And Nissa, I appreciate you as well. You guys are awesome. Keep everybody, keep the Vaughan family in your prayers. Summer Wells, please keep Summer Wells in your prayers. You know, we haven't given up on Summer. As much as people would want me to, it's just not who I am. I'll never give up on that. You can bet it. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. You have a good night.
I support abortion.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Chunk.
Right. Right.
right.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
You guys have a great night.
Some people ask me why I believe in Jesus. Do you know what I deserve based off my own life and my own knowledge of that life? I deserve to go to hell. I deserve to rot there. But I'm not going to, because my Savior has proven to me unquestionably through my life and through His Word that I am saved by His Son, because I don't deserve that at all. I am not a good person, but I don't have to be. There was an earthquake today here in Idaho. I'm not scared of it. God's bigger than all the earthquakes. In fact, my God is so big, I don't know how you guys don't see Him everywhere. I see Him everywhere. I wish you knew. It's coming close to the end now. The birth pangs have started. I hope that you choose to come to Christ soon in the true knowledge of Him. For the devil is wicked. He's really good at disguising himself as an angel of light, even more than you'd ever think.